This meeting is being recorded.
All right, guys. So I'm going to be making a presentation about my capstone project from Trontier Limited in machine learning. And when we talk about machine learning, we are in just talking about a branch of artificial intelligence that is based on the idea that systems can learn from data, identify patterns, and make decisions with minimal human intervention. So we had this project before. We had this my Jupyter, my capstone, a project on Jupyter Notebook. Before we get to this point, we were given a question to analyze the customer conversion for a digital bank. So the question faces a digital arm of a bank faces challenges with lead conversion. The primary objective of this division is to increase customer acquisition through digital channels. So if we looked at the entirety of this project, my expectation or what I'm expected to do was to predict the probability of customers conversion in the next 30 days. Like my one of my tutors, Raymond Chan, would say, the question just wants to know how many customers would turn in the next 30 days. So how I was able to approach this, I made a brief presentation about the project on PowerPoint. And the challenges is we have lead conversions. The primary objective of the project is to increase customer acquisition through digital channels, to increase the number of leads getting into the conversion funnel. And then for the bank to achieve all these, they had sources of leads like search, display, email campaigns, affiliate partners. And so we had a data set of the customers, which I'm going to show you briefly. Uh, the the idea here is to look at an exploratory data analysis to find out the hidden trends in the data set, to make some analysis to interpret these trends, to test and train the models and find out if there are some ethical considerations to be looked into in the machine learning model. And this is one of the feedback I got in my when I made my presentation by Dr. Marilyn. She was really brilliant enough to point out certain things that I needed to look out for. And this is a data set. It contains a customer's loan history for 3 months, and it was provided. So they are basically telling you, the bank is basically saying this is what we've gotten from our customers. We want to know those whose loans are going to be approved and those whose loans are not going to be approved. I was able to embed to create a visualization of the customer conversion for digital bank project on Power BI and embed it on my Jupyter notebook, which I'm going to show you so soon. And we had challenges for this data set, which is that some column entries had inconsistent or incorrect information under the D type. There were tons of missing values in some of the columns, and the data set needed cleaning. And only a few columns like contacted had yes or no, gender, male or female, had unique entries. All that also needed thorough cleaning. So all of this is it's in a pre-processing of the data, from data collection and assembly, data pre-processing. This is what we're talking about. Data exploration, visualization, which would be at the end, towards the end of the project. The visualization you saw was really my train visualization, my train visuals. I have not looked at the test visuals yet, and then model building and model evaluation. So the pre-processing steps carried out in the data set included splitting the train and test data set, which was carried out to validate the model. I had noticed something under the approved column, like handling of missing values and coding of categorical features, which involves it converting repeating categorical values into numerical data and, of course, feature scaling. And then we had post processing. This, given the project, this is a classification problem because we have been given details of customers. We've classified the loan as worthy or not worthy. That's yes or no. We have been given the details of customers. We've classified them as high conversion ratio and those with low conversion ratio. And we've also looked at, we've given customer details. We've classified customers as whether they're worthy to get a loan or not. So I consider it as binary classification problem since it refers to classification tags that have two class labels, yes or no, male, female, worthy or not, kind of. So I've also said, okay, if this is the case, after analyzing the data, clean, split, concatenate, and stuff, we have to look at further analysis to be made. We have to look at the results. We have to explain the results, knowing that too many tables with numbers should be avoided, emphasize the importance of evaluation metrics, and to ask ourselves what useful insights can we generate from this data, and challenges encountered and future work. How will I improve on the current work? What could have been done differently if given more time or resources? These are further analysis I'm going to make in a project. And of course, I ask the question, which lead source shows viability and use, which lead source is to be discarded or revisited. Where by lead source, let's go back to the top. We're looking at which of these search, display, email campaigns, and affiliate partners, which of these lead sources can we say, okay, let's go with search, let's go with display, let's go more with email campaigns because we had customers who were coming in from this part of the sources of leads more than the others. Okay. So I look forward to getting my analysis, to getting to the end of my analysis. So we have where we have 0, 1, like customers who are worthy, customers who are not worthy. So this is how it's going to be arranged in our train and test data set. So this is my project as visualized on capstone on the Jupyter notebook. The first thing I did, of course, if we look at the draft here, was I needed to import PI forest. PI forest is just like it's a lazy way of importing pandas as PD, importing numpy as NP, importing all kinds of libraries. So when once you say import, I should have deleted this. So when once you say import PI forest, it takes care of a lot of importation of the library. So you don't have to be typing or copying and paste manually. So we had to pip install it first and then import it and pip install Power BI client because we needed to, of course, tell Jupyter Notebook that we want to embed a Power BI into this. So from these are just the numerous codings for it. I got issues with this particular draft until I actually went to GitHub and I started afresh, imported a demo, and started working on my projects. So this is my capstone machine learning project with Trontier. Of course, from Power BI clients, I imported these device authentication. I had to open this and copy the code, paste it, and there is it. And then on my Power group ID, uh, let me see, let me see. So this is my Power BI. All of this is a group ID, and this is a group report. This is a report. So you can see this is my Power BI service, and the report. Still trying to load the report. All right. So this is it, and with this, I can actually get to import my Power BI dashboard into. So that's what I did. I imported the URL, the report ID, and then drew up a code acknowledging the device authentication. And this is just it. So this is the home page. I can just click and go to the second page, customer conversion for digital bank. And we can see the number of values. We can see that the interest rates for some of these for some of the customers are not existent. I had to do some cleaning on Excel, oh sorry, on Power Editor, Power Query Editor to replace null values with 0. And we can see that it seems that males actually had the highest number of loan given to them, which was 87% compared to females, which was just barely 12%. The total number of loan amount collected was 2 billion, and I used that in Naira. which approximated an average loan amount for each, where male female was 24. We could see the loan amount by gender, date of birth pattern, and gender. So we can say those who were born in 1982, this is their female loan amount. Those were born with 5.3 million. Okay, so we could see count of primary bank type by gender and so on. So this is my visualization, which is really looking good because I had to import my PI forest here again. I had to get my train test data, CSV file from my Jupyter notebook. And then these are the first 5 rows of my train data set. I had to check the shape. I had to train my data, my train data. I had to check the information that is contained. I discovered that there are a lot of ways we can clean. There are lots of missing values, and I had to check those missing values to be sure. To be sure. ID showing zero point 0.0 means gender showing 0. All of these values 0 point 0. Anywhere you see 0, it means that they actually cleaned. They don't need cleaning per se. Date of birth, there are values there that need some cleaning. Now we looked at checking descriptive statistics of trained data set to look at um, it just like power where we have Power Query, no Power BI, where we have to show profile, column profile. So this is something similar to that. We need to look at the loan amount, the loan period, the interest rate. We have to describe the train data set. Same thing, we ran same code for the test data set, and then we said we need to combine the train and test data set to be able to have one data set. And we said for train dt equals to train dt dot shape, all data concatenate, and we ran the code all data dot dt till that's the 5 rows towards the end. And these are just the code we ran. We had to do the same thing, and we went further to check for unique entries. Like I said, you can see gender, meaning it was okay, showing male and female. Unique entries for cd code, you can see there's an error here. You can see there's an error here. Contacted, this was fine, not yes and no. There's an error here. So these are all unique ways for us to check to see how our code is. So I'm looking forward to really complete this capstone project, and I wish to thank Trontier Limited for the training, as well as my tutors, Raymond Chang, Mr. Pear, my colleagues who made my training, who made this project to be what it is today. I look forward to sharing ideas and more feedback on how I can complete the project hopefully, so I'll be able to understand clearly how my train and site data tests are performing. So thank you so much for listening to this point. I'm grateful.